The new Defender turret appears to have a pretty substantial weakness. Today I want to show you a few replays of my base using 3 of these turrets, along with the Aries Conqueror Flagship, 2 different setups, the Hellmaw and the Paragon setup in my base. Hey everyone, Derpy here, and welcome back to another Battle Pirates video. In this first replay, I'm just assuming that the attacker is using the build I showed here. Not sure what armors, not sure what specials, but this is the one that I would use. More on that in a future video. Now he starts out really well by using the Aries as a long-range glass cannon type of sniper to exploit a weakness in my base where he can hit this first portal and kill it to remove the slow effect from this one. That slow ring doesn't do a whole lot when there's no ships inside this one. So that's the first thing, and he's actually doing pretty well initially. He is using just a regular Midnight Marauders crew, and I have a Junkyards crew on for this one, which is different compared to the second replay. Now, I assume he's using the Hellmaw CIC shown on screen here, which gives a pretty massive buff to Hellmaws within 120 range, but does not stop this first Hellmaw from being absolutely obliterated by the Ionic Railguns, but only when he's moving directly towards them. Throughout the rest of this replay, I want you to pay attention to those 3 turrets and see when they're hitting and when they're not. Against a stop ship right here, they appear to actually be doing a decent job, although evade might still mess them up here. Watch the 3 Hellmaws in the back, they might get hit as well also. And now that these turrets are going to start focusing the Hellmaws, it's actually going to miss the first one and only hit the trailing ones, which is really interesting. If he just had one ship and had the 3 of them that were continually moving, it looks like he wouldn't take any damage whatsoever. That's really interesting. Unfortunately for him, even my first Red Husk here has done enough damage to him, and he drove right into a mine and is now close to pretty much dead here. Not too good of an attack with this first one, even though his Hellmaw stayed within range. I think his problem was that he was stacked up, and he's not going to do what the second attacker does here, and make sure that he stays moving the entire time and even circling, which will make the Railguns much more likely to miss. Jumping into the second replay, I'm assuming this attacker here is using the Paragon CIC because he has Paragons. Also, notice right here the Railgun is shooting at him, but it's not hitting, and that's either because of evade or because of the fact that he stays moving. This first Paragon here is going to stay moving, and even though the Railguns are shooting at that one, they appear to not be hitting him whatsoever because they're kind of the worst, or Pierce is the worst, and look here, he starts circling. Pierce is the worst of evade and the worst of splash. You shoot at an area but have a really high chance to miss. Now when he's slowed down by the glacial mine here, or the large hibernation mine rather, it looks like I am actually doing a bit of damage to him, and I am doing something. Unfortunately, and even here he's probably out of range of the flagship effect, it doesn't appear to be doing a whole lot. The Contagion and the Holite CIC effects look to be a lot stronger than the Paragon, probably because they need it, and the Paragon U1 is already an extremely strong ship. Now keep watching the 3 Ionic Railguns and notice that they're shooting at, I believe, the flagship here, but they're not doing a whole lot. They appear to just be missing continually the entire time and are doing about nothing. It definitely obliterates Hellmaws if it hits them, but with this guy moving and or having evade, they're really not doing a lot to them. Maybe releasing the Pipples here, my 2 of them will do something else. The Pipples charge out, lock onto the attacker, and he's within range of a Red Husk and everything too, but unfortunately, they just don't quite get those. Maybe the Pipples need a U1 upgrade, although I suppose the Fire Breather and the Horror need those as well. I'm not even using those in my base. Last Red Husk here, he is stacked up and he's going to stop. The Ionic turrets, or Ionic turrets rather, are going to shoot at him, but it's too little too late, and he's going to end up getting in here. He is using a gold demo crew, and I have no crew on defense, which might mean that he has a pretty big advantage. So there's a little bit of a difference here between the first attacker and the second attacker, but I do want you to notice how these turrets don't really appear to be working all that well. I want to give a huge thank you to the channel members whose names appear on the end screen now. They're helping keep the channel running and are why I can provide things like the build stock. If you find that doc or these videos helpful and want to support, you can click the join button on YouTube. As always, and until next time, this is Derpy signing out, helping you be a better pirate.